Hi everybody, this is another Flying Rookie video, and this video is of my F450 quadcopter, but this one is not a clone. This one is the real deal. This is the DJI F450. Okay, I was thinking about making a new series of this aircraft, but since it's the same thing as the one that I had, the clone, I said I'm just gonna continue the series, but now it's gonna be with this aircraft. Okay, the deal with this aircraft is that I took apart two of my quadcopters. I took, the best parts from these two quadcopters and I transferred it over here. So that way I can have a better aircraft. And this aircraft, since it's the DJI, and everybody knows that these F450 frame and the F550, both of them, they are strong and proven frames. They can withstand crashes and abuse and everything. So I decided to have the original one rather than have the other one. And the other nice thing is it's symmetrical, unlike my HITEC FPV that I have from HobbyKing. So I said, you know what, I'm gonna move some of the stuff from the HobbyKing and some of the stuff of the clone and move it here and have an aircraft that's gonna be strong, it's gonna fly better, it's gonna fly nicer, and it's gonna be, durable. So let me just show some of the stuff that I got here. Okay, so this one I put the i-PEAKA ESCs. They are 30 amps, and these ESCs, I mean the labels on the other side, they are simonk, so they are fast, 600 hertz fast. The motors that I got, they are the ReadyToFlyQuads, and they're designed to work on 4 shells. So these ones are 775 kVs, and props that I got, they are APC 10x3.8 props. Okay, these motors and this the motors, the props, and ESCs, they came from the HITEC FPV. Also the GoPro Hero 2 that is going to work also as a FPV camera, comes from the Hero from the HITEC FPV. Okay, and the battery that I got over here, this is the NANO-TECH 3.3 4S, the battery that I was using on my HITEC FPV. Now the NAZA and the video transmitter over here with the GPS, they came from the clone, from the F450 clone that I had. Okay, I put it over here. Now, as you know, this video transmitter is not designed to work on 4 shells. Okay, so some people, when they fly aircraft with 4 shells, they have a second battery. There's a 3-cell battery to power the FPV equipment, but I decided not to do that. I decided to save weight, so I put over here range video step down, so it's going to bring the voltage from 14.8 down to 11.1 volts. So it's really good, it's really lightweight, and it's very convenient. So that's why I'm using that instead of a second 3S battery. And on this side I got a small tiny OSD. It's the E-OSD from HobbyKing. It's going to tell me the voltage of the battery and also the flying time, so that's really good. Okay, as you can see, the motors, since they are not the factory motors, and the ESCs, they are not the factory ESCs. The ESCs, they're gonna have long cables, just like any other ESC. So instead of cutting the cables to make it look short, just like the factory ESCs from the DJI, I decided to wrap around, put the cables of the ESC to go through the arm and come from the other side, and then just wrap it around on the side of the arm. And so as you can see, it looks nice, it looks clean. They are secured with zip ties, and there was no need for me to cut them because I had to think about the future. Who knows, maybe I decide to move the electronics from this frame to a new frame, so why I'm gonna destroy the cables on the ESC just because I'm using it on this frame? So that's one of the reasons I did it like that, and it's done like that in all the arms. And you can see it looks, the way I set up the wiring, it looks nice and neat. I'm the kind of person that like to pay like to have the wiring set up nice and neat. I don't like clutter or anything. Okay, so the reason on this flight is because I'm gonna do a test flight to see for how long this aircraft is gonna fly with this battery, and see, so that way I can set up my timers, because this aircraft is not gonna be like all my other aircraft. It's not gonna be used to be flying on line of sight. This aircraft is gonna be only for FPV. Okay, so I need to figure it out what kind of flying time I'm gonna get with this battery. So I'm gonna turn the radio on. Okay, and it's transmitting, and now I'm gonna power the aircraft. Another reason is that I'm right now in this underground garage is because it's really cold outside. It's like 9 degrees Fahrenheit, and it's a little bit windy too, so I don't want to freeze myself. And one thing that I hate to do is you know, fly my RC vehicles, you know, my RC quadcopters with gloves on my hands. I hate that. I like to get the feeling of the sticks or the remote, so I don't like to use that. Now, one thing that's gonna suck about me flying down here, you know, besides that I'm gonna be forced to be flying low, is that I won't be able to test the GPS to see the GPS is working properly. Okay, so, and all those choices. Now, one nice thing is that all the FPV equipment is powered, so in that way, you know, everything is going to be draining power of the main battery, and see what's the real flying time I'm going to get. So I'm going to be flying on attitude mode. Okay, so let's go up. And I'm just straight up the GoPro. Now, I'm not that good of a line of sight pilot, so I'm pretty much, this flight is gonna be mostly you know, like hovering, because this is all about checking what's the flying time that I'm gonna get. Okay. Now you can see that the yellow light from the NAZA is indicating that it's on attitude mode, but at the same time getting the red light. The red light means that I haven't acquired a satellite. Of course, there's a reason for that. I'm 2 floors down underground. Nice thing about being flying down here is because for some reason we're here warmer than outside. Outside is like I said, it's like 90 degrees Fahrenheit. And over here it's like like around 30 degrees. So it's still cold, but it's not as cold as outside. It's better if I fly here, because if I fly like at home or something like that, I could break, you know, my TV or the furniture or any of that stuff. So at least over here, I'm not risking anything. There's a parking lot garage. It's all concrete all over the place. Well, that's good. That's really good. Now, another thing that I'm testing too is the camera that I got on my top of my head. I got the GoPro Hero 2. Hero 3, Black Edition. And I'm using it right now for the first time. Eventually I'm going to use this GoPro on one of my quadcopters. It's not going to be on this one, but it's going to be in any of my other quadcopters. So probably I'm going to use it on a hexacopter that I'm going to build soon. It's going to be large, so I'm going to use it on a gimbal. So I'm still debating what's going to be the future with this GoPro. Anyway, I ordered the cables from Foxtech for the Hero 3 that will allow me to use the GoPro as a HD camera. I know that I got the choice. I can buy a second camera, you know, like a CCTV camera, and use this GoPro anyway. But any little weight that you add on any of this aircraft, it's gonna rob you of flying time, regardless how small is the camera. So I'd rather just use the GoPro as a FPV camera. And that's why I ordered the special cable. It's like a USB cable that will power my GoPro and will video feed will stream the video feed of the GoPro into the video transmitter. So that's gonna be, it's gonna serve two purposes, and that's really cool. Now I feel that I have to adjust a little bit the vertical gains on this, because it's kind of like doesn't want to stay, you know, like when I put it, you know, in certain high, it just doesn't want to stay there. You just start going down a little bit by itself. And right now it's like a little bit over half a throttle. Now it's drifting a little bit. Well, that's normal because it's on attitude mode. I mean, there's no wind or anything right now, but you know, see, I mean, there's like a small wind current, because I don't know if you guys can hear in the background, there's like ventilators that circulate the air from the inside to the outside on this underground garage. So it's like a small wind current, but at least it's not like a lot of wind that's making, you know, the aircraft, you know, really, you know, impossible to fly. Anyway, I really like it. It feels really, you know, agile, and it doesn't wobbles, you know, like the way my HT FPV used to do. And even it's more stable than my F450 clone, because even in the speed controls I have my clone, they were the DJI speed controls, the 30 amps, and they are kind of high speed, but they are not high speed simonk high speed. You know, that 400 hertz or 450 hertz, you know, refresh rate on the DJI SEs, and these ones they are 600. So they are way faster. So that helps you, you know, have a smoother flight. Now, some people probably will say, why didn't, you know, upgrade, you know, the F450 clone and use probably like a TBS Discovery conversion? I don't need it. I got the Flip FPV from Hovertines and really like it a lot. The quadcopter is working beautiful. So, I mean, I like to have different aircraft with different, you know, flying characteristics and different shapes. So I still always gonna like the idea of having a symmetrical, normal, regular quadcopter. So that's why I decided to buy this frame and replace those two. And if I want to fly a quadcopter that's not gonna have the props in front of the camera, then I use my Flip FPV for that. It's a win-win situation for me. I love the way this thing reacts. So really nice. In a way, I like the fact that the barometer is quite not keeping the aircraft, you know, at the attitude, you know, as much as I want it to. Because for FPV is good, sometimes the barometer is too high and you're high in the air, you want to go down. You know, you want to lower, you know, suddenly, you know, go down from like 100 feet, you want to go down like to 20 feet. Sometimes the barometer holds you down, you know, if you got the vertical gains too high. So I want the aircraft to be, I want to be able to do, you know, like fast dives. So it's good to keep the barometer not that high when you do that. Now I went over 8 minutes of flying time. Well, there's one thing that I want to do. So let me just go and land this aircraft on the back of the pickup truck, because I forgot to turn on the GoPro that's on board over here, because I want to see how the video is going to come out. The arms, they come out evenly on the image, and how the props, they're gonna block the view. So okay, let's turn on. And it's recording, good. And let's put on the floor. Like I said, I'm over 20 minutes of flying time, 8 minutes. I just hope I can get at least 12 minutes total. That would be excellent for me. Huh? One of the things that I want this aircraft to is to do long range. I mean, no long range like using like a ground FPV ground station, you know, FPV flights. But you know, I want to go, you know, pretty far, at least, you know, over a kilometer, and get good signal. I know my radio supposedly get like a kilometer of range, my Aurora 9. So I hope I can get the same with the video transmitter that I got over here, using only the goggles. I don't want to bother to set up a ground station. For me, that's just a waste of time. You know, for a multi-rotor, it's not worth it. And I've got plans to make a set. I did already a range test with my HITEC FPV. Yeah, I went like around 2,400 feet, using only 2,400 feet away, using only a 400 milliwatt video transmitter with my goggles and Cloverleaf antennas. So I wanted to go, you know, do the kilometer with that one, but the aircraft was flying so crappy, I didn't want to take a chance. Now I'm 10 minutes of flying time right now, so that's good. So this one got the 500 milliwatt, and it's a big, heavy video transmitter. So I'm hoping that I can go far without losing video quality, having, you know, the least video drop, you know, possible. I just went over 10 minutes of flying time. That's really cool. This thing is so freaking nimble. I see sometimes people, they put, you know, like landing gears on this thing. And I mean, I got a friend of mine from Maryland, and he did the right thing. He put the smallest gimbal that you can get from this aircraft, and really tiny landing gears. And the aircraft is really light. But I saw some people, they put, you know, large gimbals. It's a 450, it's a quadcopter. It's not meant to be, you know, carry that kind of weight. You know, big gimbals. You know, my friend, he got a one-axis gimbal with a small, you know, 4 small, you know, landing legs. And the aircraft weighs less than 1,400 grams, and that's really cool with the 3,300 milliamp 3S battery. You know, so that's nice. I'm not gonna do this with this aircraft because I already got the 550 DJI with the 2-axis gimbal camera mount. So this one I want it to be a hot rod, you know. Now the funny thing about this aircraft is that even if I'm flying 4 cells, you got more equipment than the equipment that I used to have on my 450 clone. This aircraft is 10 grams lighter. My 450 clone used to be running on 3S LiPo, you know, 4,000 3S LiPo used to be 1,493 grams. I'm sorry, 1,393 grams. And this one is 1,383 grams running on a 4 cell. Okay, my LiPo alarm is going off. Whoops. Okay. So I went, well, can't complain. I did the 12 minutes. So that means that when I fly this aircraft, I can fly for 10 minutes and have 2 minutes for spare to bring it back to home base. Because that's the way I do FPV with a multicopter. You don't really want to fly really far with a multicopter. You want to figure it out, you know, what kind of flying time you get with any given battery that you use. And once you figure that out, when you fly, if you just fly with the goggles and you don't waste your time with a FPV ground station, even if you put on a backpack, it's not going to be faster than set up a set of video goggles. So all you do is put your video goggles and go. You got 10 minutes of flying time, and once your timer, you get 12 minutes, you fly only for 10 minutes, and once the timer hit that it says, your 10 minutes up, it's time to bring it back. You're gonna have 2 minutes. Whatever you got the aircraft flying around, you got 2 minutes to bring it back and land it before you run out of power. So that's really important, and I really like that I'm getting that kind of flying time, with this aircraft. And it's nimble, and it's, like I said, 10 grams lighter than the way it used to be when I used to fly on 4-cell. I mean, on 3S lipos with the old equipment. Now, one thing that I have to explain is, like, back then, I used to fly this aircraft with larger motors, and I guess that was in part why the aircraft was so heavy. There were 2215s, killer motors. These ones, I think they are 2028s, if I'm not wrong. So they are way lighter, and they got better bearings than Main USA, and they're high performance bearings. I forgot the name of the company, but they are advertised on their ReadyToFlyQuads website. Okay, so I had better bearings on these motors. They are better quality. They are designed to work on 4S, and they are cold. I'm running 10-inch props and all my motors. I know the weather's cold out there, but if the motors have the wrong props, they're gonna run hot. And I mostly hover. Then that's one of the things that will make a motor overheat. If you hover a lot and the motor got the wrong props, it's going to make the motor really overheat. And these motors are really cold. The motors that are going to overheat doesn't matter how the weather is outside. Okay, but I mostly hover over here, and the motors that are cold like nothing never happened. So that's really cool. That's really cool that I managed to do this flight without I accomplished the flying time that I was looking for. The aircraft is maneuverable, it's stable. The only thing that I couldn't do is the GPS, see how the GPS work, but at least everything else is working fine. Okay, so anyway, this is gonna be the end of this video, and I appreciate whatever information I gave to all of you guys from this aircraft is helpful for you guys. If you decide to modify your own F450, you decide to buy better equipment for it. The next video I'm going to make about this aircraft is going to be a FPV flight, and also I'm going to do a long range FPV flight with this aircraft alongside my flip FPV that got the 400 milliwatt. This one got the 500 milliwatt PWM transmitter. So I want to do a comparison of see how far both of the aircrafts can go with and what advantage, how even further I can go with this one with the 500 milliwatt versus the 400 milliwatt video transmitter. Also, I'm going to have a video recorder that's going to record the video. So the video that I'm going to show is not going to be from the GoPro. It's going to be for the video recorder that has its own built-in 5.8 gigahertz video receiver. So I'm going to hook up a Cloverleaf on that, and that way everybody can see how the video quality degrades as the aircraft goes really far. Okay, so this is the end of the video, like I mentioned before. So please don't forget to rate, comment, subscribe, share this video and favorite it. So thanks for watching, everybody. Bye.